Alright, hello everybody and welcome into the SFA Season 14 Week 8 Bear Cave. We are officially over halfway through the season and man, oh man, what another great week it was. And if this is your first time watching the SFA, welcome in. It's an online dynasty ran through Discord, Twitch, and YouTube. You do not need the game to participate. You can join in at any time. Click the link in the description, join the Discord. You can claim a team. You can set playbooks, depth charts, hire coordinators, recruit. We also have fully functional sportsbook and stock market, and it's a really fun time. Check it out. And if you are watching live on the stream, welcome in. You may run into ads here or there, so feel free to use a Twitch Prime. It is greatly appreciated. Any and all revenue from this channel does go back to you guys in the terms of a SFA National Championship trophy and some merch from your school. And where is that merch from? Well, of course, it is our friends over at Home Field Apparel, as we got 2 subscriptions coming in. Cryo, thank you so much, my guy. He is pushing dog water for my top fan, so shout out to Cryo. As we get Cam in, who gets a sub, new Akron coach who's popping off. But yeah, Home Field Apparel, check them out. They're actually dropping some racing gear. Normally they're known for college apparel, super cool, super comfortable. But this week on Friday, if you are a racing fan, they're dropping some Daytona 500 style merch, racing merch. I'm not too familiar with it, but check it out. I will be posting it on the Instagram and such. So it's a really great time. And if you guys want more SFA content throughout the week, we have Patreon. Check it out, patreon.com/the SFA. We had a crazy watch party this week, which will go live for everybody after today's game day. And always follow us on Instagram at Simulated Football Association. I post daily media stories over there as well. Hello. All right, you guys can hear me. Let's go. Yeah, we have an insane week this week. Game day is going to be Notre Dame and Florida State, but this is a insanely stacked Bear Cave week, so we're going to get it started here in a second. The biggest upset so far of the day was definitely North Carolina going down to North Carolina State in a rivalry game, losing 28-18. So ruined a lot of people's parlays and such. But if you don't know what Bear Cave is, we take the 10 best games of the week. Instead of just quick simming them, posting the score, we're going to jump in, watch the sim happen live, and then if it's close at the end, we'll actually get some gameplay and watch it finish out. So without further ado, let's get on into it. Let me pull up my graphic, and we can go ahead and get started here in Week 8. Alright, so we are going to start out in the Sun Belt. So this is our, they made a national championship appearance last year, but now they've kind of fallen off. I think they've lost 2 games in a row. Georgia Southern taking on App State coach Zach. Zach, did you want a uniform? You didn't post it earlier this week when I asked. So if you want a uniform, let me know quickly, and then also let me know receive or heads. Or not, sorry, kick or receive, as you're the home team. And I guess this, they call this rivalry Deeper Than Hate. Interesting. Alright, so for those of you guys betting on the sportsbook, App State is a 5-point favorite, and the over-under for this game is going to be 67.5, high-scoring game predicted today. And as always, we also have a Bear Cave prop, and today's prop for this game is Trey Inners anytime touchdowns. We're looking for 2+ touchdowns from Trey Inners. So we got Flynn Saunders, the generational talent, versus really the scraps from this Georgia Southern National Championship team. Remember, folks, if you do have a subscription, we also have a ton of new emotes as well this season, so check them out. Feel free to use them in the chat. They don't get used often enough. I've really focused this week of getting the server up to speed with things like emotes and that kind of stuff, so feel free to use them. I am pretty good about that in the Twitch chat, but there you go. Cryo smacking my notebook. ECU is on stream today, so you might hear some notebook abuse later on things go south. All right, here we go. Kid Brewer Stadium. And we are off. Zach wants kick. He doesn't get a choice. I'm never biased on commentary. I don't know what you're talking about. As we start out the first quarter here in App State in Boone. App State takes a 7-3 lead. Georgia Southern, you're not going to beat Flynn Saunders with field goals. Can we get some trainers touchdowns? I don't see them happening. We got kind of a low-scoring game so far as App State starts pulling away here. Not liking this start. No touchdowns yet. I bet on some Trey Inners touchdowns, so I'd like them to start scoring. And App State is just controlling the rock here. Oh, boy, here we go. As, man, they can't score there. And, okay, a quick score. We got 4 minutes left. It's only a 5-point game. So right now, it is a cover from App State. So we'll see if they can pull away. Remember, we only jump in at the 2-minute mark if it is still a one-score game. So it is 2-minute mark now. 5 minutes left, or 2 minutes left. 5-point game. It's a 3rd and 5 here for Flynn Saunders. Can they get it done, Flynn? Over the middle, open, man, and that's going to be a first down. Are they going to be able to run out this clock? 4 touchdowns on the day for Flynn Saunders. They're going to have to start burning the timeouts and hope to hold them for a field goal. Hand it off here. Up the gut. Massive hole. Not much doing there. So Georgia Southern, man, they're on their back foot. It's not looking good. They got to force a turnover. They got to force the field goal at the very least. Back in shotgun here. Julius Dickens out wide. Maybe quick option. Flynn keeps it. And he goes down in the backfield. He couldn't make a move there. Luckily, he did stay inbounds, so forcing him to use that last timeout. So 3rd and 3 here. Georgia Southern desperately needs a stop. They ideally need like an incompletion, but they're just going to hand it up the gut. Touchdown, App State, and that is likely going to end it here. We will see if Georgia Southern can get it back. We'll launch the extra point to put it to 12. But the over does hit. So we're on to some studio updates here and checking in on the big, this is a massive upset here. Harrison, 134, 2 touchdowns. They just couldn't stop on the ground. So we're not going to watch Georgia Southern, but if they can get a score, then we can jump back in. But it's a turnover on downs there as Flynn Saunders is just going to kneel it out. And that is going to do it here from Boone. Got 5 seconds left. Another turnover. And that should do it here as App State gets back in the win column. Massive win over Georgia Southern. This is a team that has a very weak schedule the rest of the way. So while there are some undefeated group of 5 teams, they pretty much, I would say, control their own destiny in the American. Especially after Coastal Carolina took a loss today to Troy. So a big start here. Flynn Saunders back in his own groove. Now the question is, did Trey Inners score 2 touchdowns? I'm hoping so. I have it in a parlay as it was the best wide receiver in the country, Julius Dickens, looking for his 3rd straight Team of the Year and potentially in talks for being SFA Player of the Year. Yeah, that performance was a lot better from the Cincinnati performance a couple of weeks ago. And I am gonna stop doing the BearCave highlights video on YouTube. I am still gonna post the highlights in server, but the BearCave highlights aren't getting views, so doesn't seem like I should waste my time posting them. As we get a 75-yard touchdown run from Inners. Did he score another one? Yes, he did. He did get 2. All right, so that is going to be a hit. Let's go. So Flynn Saunders, 4 touchdowns, 287. And then you got Charles Coley getting up over 100 yards. Rashad Palmer was the man, as Julius Dickens adds 3 touchdowns today. Man, dominating his man. Barr gave up 1 sack and a pancake. And then on defense, Xavier James gets 10 tackles, 4 TFLs, 2 sacks, and then 2 interceptions today. It was really there, kind of firing on all cylinders here. His Sledge also gets a forced fumble. And then for Georgia Southern, Peter Green taking over for the legendary Josh Johnson. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Trey Inners can only do so much. He kept him in it at the end. Trey Inners also added 50 through the air. And then on defense, these are the tackles. Albert Ashcherry, the former bust, leading in TFLs. He gets a sack as well. No interceptions and deflections. They do get 3. But that is going to do it here from Boone. Alright, so pretty good start here to BearCave, as that was a potential upset. Didn't quite happen, but it goes down as an Appalachian State cover. And remember, I always get my players of the game. Screenshot for later. Remember, all the games will get posted later on in the Discord, and we do have another game day coming up. But now we got a game that's really gained some traction here today with lore, as we've got Missouri going on the road to take on West Virginia. So this game isn't even in Missouri, but today it's been all about, are you going to defend the arch or are you going to steal the arch? And so I guess the Gateway Arch is on the line here today in the Big 12 between newfound rivals Missouri and West Virginia. So Tribe, let me know, heads or tails, kick or receive. He said black helmet, white everything else. All right, kick and receive, or let me know, heads or tails, kick or receive. Black helmet, white everything else. They got you covered there. Kick and tails. All right, let's get on into it. Let's see if you could take out Coach Hud. The disrespect today has been insane, as you guys are both 3-3. Now, this is a 2.5-point favorite for Missouri. The over-under is 50.5, and the BearCave prop today is going to be West Virginia. Is Mojo Baez going to get a sack? So that Caden Sanker versus Mojo Baez matchup is going to be legendary. We'll see what happens. Kick and tails is the call. And really, I mean, the difference between 4-3 and 3-4 is pretty massive at this stage, especially when these are both fringe bowl game caliber teams. That 4th win is so critical, especially just past the halfway mark of the season. Really vault into the second half of the conference play. So we'll see who can get off to a nice foot here, as he wanted kick and tails. So tails and kick, I guess. Can't pick kick first. All right, so West Virginia is going to start out with the ball here today at home. Here we go. Quick touchdown there for Missouri as this first quarter comes to an end, and West Virginia does tie it on up. So a bit of a lower scoring start here. Kind of just feeling each other out in these rivalry games. A lot of shit talking. Then when you get on the field, it's kind of, you know, people are pussyfooting around. As Missouri gets a quick touchdown there. And another one. Missouri takes a 2-score lead on the road, but the home team is starting to crawl back. They're going to scratch and claw their way, but the Tigers continue to push forward. 28-14. Things are getting slim here for Coach Hud as he goes down a 3rd score, and that very well could do it. The 2.5-point favorites, and the 4th down can't work. Missouri is going to throttle the Mountaineers on the road, and they will take the Arch back home where it belongs in Missouri. All of that shit talk just for it to fail, as Missouri and Cronin go absolutely ballistic, and Kane drops a few on the dome at the very end. Terrell Hunter, 4 touchdowns today, fresh off a playbook change from Coach Tribe. He looked mighty good today. You would like the completion percentage to be a little bit better, but you'll take it. as Cyrus Disco only got 1 carry today for -1 yards. Sandro Londano, the transfer from Texas, didn't do much, but it was Rich Kane doing his thing. Caden Sanker with 4 pancakes, 0 sacks, and then the man who's like about 125 pounds, it seems, he gave up a sack, got a couple of pancakes. And then Yaz Sussy, oh baby, this was a Sussy masterclass. 5 TFLs, 3 sacks. How about Yaz Sussy, the SFA player, absolutely popping off when it mattered the most. And interceptions, we got 1 from Hampton. And deflections, we got 4 here today. Couple of just 1 forced fumble. And now let's check out West Virginia. Brian Nobles, he had to throw it 52 times, man. He just couldn't will them to victory, as PJ Hoop didn't even get into the end zone, as he averaged under 4 a carry. Michael Lee led him, the true freshman. Joe Thomas as well. 2 touchdowns here for Tremaine Silva, the transfer from Ohio State from a couple of years ago. And then on defense, Archibald Burnbridge, he came to play, but seems like the rest of the team really did not, as Mojo Baez does not get himself a sack, as Archibald had to do it himself here today, didn't do much. Deflections, we got 4 deflections from Terrell Love. That's crazy, but they just couldn't bring any of them down, I guess. No forced fumbles either. Man, that is a tough way to go out. So Missouri is going to be thrusted to 4-3, and that's really going to help their bowl eligibility percentage. So as you look at the players of the games, I don't know how you don't give Yaz Sussy the player of the game after 3 sack, 5 TFL performance, but I guess here we are. Kellen Hampton makes the flashier plays, I guess. All right. So both of the favorites covered so far, but I will say those first 2 games have been decently entertaining. As we move on over, and we're going to go to the Big Ten now, as we've got a nice one. The undefeated Maryland Terrapins taking on Coach Mushbrain and the very volatile Badgers, man. They're 3-3. They either like win by 1 million or lose by 1 million. So Coach Papa Smoke, if you're here, let me know, heads or tails, kick or receive. As we wait for him to answer, it's a 3-point favorite for the Terrapins. And the over-under for this game is 50.5 as well. And the prop that we are all tracking today is Luke Pearson, the #1 wide receiver. Will he get over or under 4.5 catches today against Wisconsin? So tails and kick here today for Coach Papa Smoke, trying to stay perfect, as the analytics aren't really in Maryland's favor this year to go undefeated throughout the entire season. So we'll see if they can prove the haters wrong today, as this is going to be a tough battle in Camp Randall, one of the hardest places to play in the country. So we're going to go with tails and kick. We saw this team on game day a few weeks ago, and we're going to get tails and kick. Here we go, folks. Can Coach Mushbrain get it done? Quick touchdown. 2 quick touchdowns there for Wisconsin, but back comes Maryland. They're not going down without a fight, as they're already down 2 scores. One of the best defenses in the country, already on their back foot, but they tie up the ball game here. They take the lead in the second quarter. We've got ourselves a crazy game, folks. What is this, the Pac-12? Oh, man, what a first half already, as we already have hit the over, as Maryland now takes a 2-score lead, and they take 3 scores. This is the volatility of this Wisconsin team. They were up 21-7 at one point, and now they gave up 35 straight. They get one back there. Can they get another? No, Maryland continues to throttle them, as they are going to continue the ass-whooping in Camp Randall. We're not even going to get to jump into this game. It's a 3-score game. And that will do it, folks. What a tale of 2 halves. Mushbrain, I'm so sorry, man. That was tough pill to watch, but I mean, they got 3 touchdowns in that first quarter, and then they just we're good. So a lot of Brent Jackson, I should say. Pearson got one at the end there. So let's check in on the stats distribution. We'll start with the road team. 350 and 4 touchdowns here for Jerry Schmierman. Great day on the bump as Brent Jackson, 169, 3 tutties here today. Matt Jackson and Pearson hits the under on the catches. It was a line set at 4.5. He really didn't have his best day here today. Wigglesworth gets 6 pancakes. You love to see that. Decent amount of TFLs from Brandon Cochran, the transfer from Old Dominion. Couple of deflections there for Yamari Ono, the SFA player, and Patrick Ingram getting himself a turnover and a block. Interesting. Now as we look towards Wisconsin, Nolan Edwards, his senior year, he looked to have a decent day. I'm not sure quite what happened. Oh, that could have been the reason, is Marty Fellows only got 5 carries today. He might have gone down with an injury. Now receiving the rock, Derek Gray was the lead guy. Jong Young getting involved as well. Justin Estes and Joel Peppercorn, the tight end. And Dedrick Mitchell leads in TFLs. They only got 1 sack today and no interceptions. 1 deflection, Sean Scott. And Glenn Childs, the Boise State transfer, gets a fumble forced. But that will do it here. So another cover. So we have 3 covers here to open up BearCave. All right. I definitely had that game labeled as a bit of an upset alert. I'm not going to lie. I was scared about that Maryland game, but they got through it. Shout out to the Terps. All right, next up, man, we've got another brilliant game as we've got Coach Nick and the Tennessee Volunteers taking on Alabama. And had we told you at this point in Week 8 that these teams would have combined for 7-6 on the year, I would have told you you are a liar, as this is definitely a down year for both of these teams. Tennessee still in line if they can continue to take care of business, but Alabama's season pretty much over in terms of the playoff, but they can definitely spoil some others. So Nick, let me know, heads or tails, kick or receive. He does want to do orange versus red here today, so we're going to try and make that happen, as this is I guess a well-known rivalry. I don't see Nick here. Yeah, definitely a little less bite than normal years. Nick is here, tails and kick. This is a 4.5-point favorite for Tennessee, so all 3 teams have covered so far, so we'll see if Tennessee can continue that trend. And the over-under is 52.5 here today, and we are checking in on the props. It's going to be E.J. Irons passing yards for Alabama. Will he get over or under his average of 254.5? So we'll jump on board with Tennessee here as they go tails and kick, as we're going to Bryant Denny. Definitely has not been the season Tennessee had hoped, as they are the most talented team in the country on paper, along with ECU, as we've got rain here in Bryant Denny. Alabama 3-4, trying to get back to 500, trying to find their way to a bowl game. C.J. Irons, his senior year, has not gone according to plan. Oh man, we got some yawners in chat. That's a wild take. This is still an interesting game. I do like the jersey combo. We'll have to see it when we get onto the field. But a lot of SFA players on both sides. We'll see if this one turns into a banger. First quarter, how is this one going to go today? Remember in the rain a few weeks ago, Tennessee struggled with Texas A&M as we got an interception there by Sam Powell on E.J. Irons. Only 3-0, 10-0 now for Tennessee, but Alabama battles back. You know, when they're at home, they're not going to go down without a fight, as they are within a score at halftime. Tennessee scoring big, scoring large, but Alabama, man, you can't settle for field goals, as this one's going back and forth. So as we head to the fourth quarter, Tennessee takes a commanding lead, and this is a quality win, I would say, as another touchdown there, as this one's kind of got away from the Crimson Tide, as they are going to get their 5th loss on the season. Just a horrible year here for the Alabama Crimson Tide. So another cover. So Des Stiffy finally doing something, man. He has been such a disappointment, especially this year, and then Edmund Edwards showing up late. So Bishop Moore not having to throw it 100 times, interesting. And Des Stiffy only got 9 carries, and he made use of them, averaging 17.6. He got 2 touchdowns. He might have gotten injured here. Chris Beach, Edmund Edwards, and no catches for Laxton III, the tight end. Schlereth gets 5 and 14 tackles here for Marcus Russian. As you got 5 TFLs, Jamarian Sippins doing his thing. 1 sack today, a couple of interceptions, one by Kobe Dredd, the SFA player. No deflections, 1 forced fumble from Jeff Horn, and that will do it here. As we take a look, and EJ Irons well below his over-under. Bad day for him, and kind of a forgettable year. You have to wonder if he's going to sit out the rest of the year to prepare for the NFL draft. Is Tyrone Cox back in the starting role after some injuries, gets over 100 yards. But, man, this team, they are a shell of their former selves in the last couple of seasons. And honestly, you kind of love to see it. Now, I will say in SFA lore, Alabama is not like my least favorite SEC team. Obviously, nobody likes the SEC here, but Alabama in terms of SFA lore, kind of unfortunate if you're going to have to pick an SEC team to do well. I kind of like these Alabama players, but bad year for them. 3-5 now. As the bad guys win, Rocky Top reigns supreme, unfortunately, as it's blaring in my ears already. As I need to get my players of the game here. I don't know if we're going to unlock Alabama anytime soon. You might have to have some prestige, meaning not dog water. All right. So now on to the Sickos Game of the Week, as we have had 4 covers already, and I think potentially all the overs might have hit. Don't quote me on that one, but we got a fun one here. Texas State at Tulsa. We got Coach Phi Mantu and El Harm getting their first stream games, I believe, of the season. So we'll see. This will be an interesting one. Tulsa 2-3, Texas State. So if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive for Texas State. If he's not here, then El Harm, let me know kick or receive. And this is a game that's a 2-point favorite for Tulsa. The over/under for this game is sitting at a staggering 51.5. And then in terms of BearCave props, we're seeing if Thomas Horn, the transfer quarterback from UCF to Texas State, if he's going to get a rushing touchdown. All right, El Harm, let me know kick or receive, as you will not be making the call, so it'll be kick or receive. Defer to the second half. So does that mean you're going to kick? Are you going to kick or receive? Okay. Skelly Field at Haas Chapman Stadium here in Tulsa. I can't tell you that we've ever been to Tulsa for sure, so this might be a first in SFA history. So we're going to kick it off here between Texas State and Tulsa. All right, so 0-0 start here, 3-0 here for the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes, as Texas State not doing too much quite yet, but they punch it in, miss the extra point, as you do as a bottom feeder, as we're 6-3. Now we got 10-6 here at halftime, Elharm trying to make a big push here today. Go back to 3-3. Maybe have a shot at some bowl eligibility. This would be a big time win as it's 13-6. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. Remember, we'll jump in at the 2-minute mark if it remains close. A score here from Tulsa, though, might put them away, as it doesn't seem like Texas State is able to do much. And that is going to do it. That's going to be a score here for Tulsa. So without a touchdown here from Texas State, we will be going away from this game. As, hold on, though, you get a couple of big plays, and that's going to be a touchdown. Extra point is no good, though. So, of course, they missed the extra point. So we're going to jump in here at, they're above 8, or down 8. And the Golden Hurricane does get it. But remember, Texas State does have all of their timeouts. All right. Yeah, you might have to refresh. I dropped like 2 frames or so a couple of seconds ago, but we should be good. So 1 first down here for Tulsa, and they're going to go to the outside. That's not going to do much for you. So they had 2 missed extra points here today for Texas State. So we'll see. Can Tulsa get a first down? It's now 2nd and long. Now they hand it up the gut, and a broken tackle gets about half of it back. That's Kendall Bradshaw. So 3rd and 7 now. Is Elharm going to get aggressive, go for the throw, or are they just going to run it down their throat and try to get it the old-fashioned way? Remember, even if they're in fringe field goal range, they could end it here as well. So they are going to throw it here. Interesting call from Tulsa. Over the middle, it's a floaty, and he overthrows his man. He had him open. Herbert Davenport he wasn't him. So 4th and 7, and they're going for it. Oh dear, here we go. They knew they were going to go for it. Out of field goal range, they just want to go for the win. As they're going to just hand it off, and Bradshaw goes down. So Texas State is going to get a chance now. Down 8, 1 timeout. Tough audible there for sure. So leaving the door cracked here for the triple option offense. Thomas Horn, the former UCF quarterback. We'll see what he can do here today. He does take off here. He does have a little bit of running ability. He's not like insane or anything, but he gets a first down there. Or no, that's Charles Mitchell. So I guess Thomas Horn is out of the game. Interesting. So backup quarterback is in for Texas State. So tilting into Tulsa's favor, I guess. Maybe not, as he lowers the head and gets a first down. Here comes Texas Tech, folks. Texas State. Flipping the play at the line. 57 seconds. They're playing contain, and they get through. That's going to be a sack. They don't want to use that timeout. They're going to have to hurry back to the line. Marcus Wells up to 4 TFLs today, as these guys are taking a long time to jog back. Now at the 50. Playing contain again. He yams it deep, and he hits his man. Breaks a tackle. Stays on his feet to the end zone, and he goes down at the 8. What a play from Jacob Daly. We are in business now, folks. The yam worked to perfection. Here they come. Under center, over the middle, and he's short. Clock continues to roll. Bryce McCullough couldn't get there quite. 2nd and goal. They're hurrying it up. Couple plays left. The snap. Mitchell. He has time. And out the back of the end zone as he was about to get sacked. That could have ended the game. Remember, they have that timeout in the back pocket. 2 plays left. Goal line formation on both sides. What is the call for Texas State? They're going to throw it. Interesting call. He has time. He takes off up the gut. Touchdown, Texas State! They are alive! But they have to go for 2 here. Can they tie this game up? He takes off again. Can he get there? He does! Tie game here. Tulsa couldn't hold. Charles Mitchell. A complete disaster here for Tulsa. They had the game won. And then you're up 8. You go for 4th down. You give up a yam, and we're back to square one. 20-20 here, folks. What a game. As Tulsa bettors are hating this right now. As 6 seconds left, they're just going to fall on it as we head to overtime. All right, Tulsa, do you want to, never mind, you don't get a choice. All right, here we go. Tulsa is on the board first in the first frame of overtime. First and 10 here as they're just going to hand it off to Bradshaw. He has some room. He cuts inside. Oh, he had room, and he's tripped up. Bradshaw up to 90 yards. I thought he's going to score there. First and 10 now. Davenport under center. Gotta think they're just going to hand it to Bradshaw. They do again. This time he's stuffed up, but he gives him a stiffy, and he's tripped up again with green grass in front of him. Bradshaw just can't find the end zone. It looks like he's going to score, but there's always something just holding him back. Every team is going to go for it in that situation when you're too close or just outside field goal range and it doesn't seem like it's going to be advantageous to punt. They're going to go for it every time. That it only changed field position by about, let's say, 12 yards as they would have kicked it through the back of the end zone anyways. So first and goal here in the first OT frame. Tulsa under center, hands to Bradshaw. Open lane, touchdown Tulsa. Domination here from the opening frame. Yeah, the game's not going to punt it to the corner for you, unfortunately. It punts it to the corner maybe once every 20 times. So, very unlikely it would have happened. So, the opening frame is a touchdown for Tulsa as they continue to rub it in here for Coach Sirlax's Brio. So Texas State now has to respond again. And if you're Texas State, you're 1 for 3 on extra points today. Do you just go for it here if you get the touchdown? As they are going to audible here with they have Mitchell. And free rusher, they're going to get to him this time. Charles Mitchell is sacked. So remember, anything less than a touchdown and an extra point here is going to be a loss. So Tulsa in great position here as we're back into the triple option. As they toss this out to the running back, he finds some room. That's Daly, the man who caught the yam to almost win it. As he gets a first down. Tulsa has problems setting the edge here. So first and 10 now. We got Texas State. It's going to be some quick option from Mitchell. He gets the toss. It's on the ground. The turnover hits. Tulsa survives a hold. They pick it up. And that's going to end the game. The massive comeback is spoiled here for Texas State. What a game here in the Sickos game of the week. We ended in a walk-off fumble. Mitchell ran out of room there and he got nervous. As let's look at this play again, man. Daly, if he could have kept his feet, man. Just one tackle to beat. That was a great play. And it winds up as a Tulsa cover anyways, but man, that was an interesting game for sure. But definitely the over bettors are seething as they're like, why did you let it go into overtime if you're still not going to hit the over? So we'll see what happened to Thomas Thorne. We'll see if he did get that rushing touchdown. Horn did get a throw. They got a return punt here for Tulsa. Interesting. So no rushing touchdown, it looks like, for Horn. Phil Manis, or Phil Mantu, I'm not sure where he is. But Herbert Davenport, definitely not the quarterback of the future, I would think, for Tulsa. Not a great game for him. But Kendall Bradshaw, hopefully going to get one more year of him as a 90 overall. That would be awesome for Tulsa next year. It's on defense. Marcus Well having a game. A lot of TFLs here. Obviously, you're going against the option. That tends to happen if you're doing pretty well against it. Couple of deflections. One forced fumble by Donald Ware. And the recovery from Alan Morse. And for Texas State, just a little bit too far away. They just could never quite get the lead. Big day, man, for Jacob Daly. But Horn couldn't get in the end zone. 2 touchdowns through the air. And on the defensive side, couple of TFLs, no sacks, no interceptions, and 3 deflections. No fumbles to speak of. Ooh, Rick updating that live. Let's go. So Texas State down to 36.66 odds of bowl eligibility. Tulsa up to 60%. That's insane. Love to see that. If you guys are interested in joining Patreon, yeah, check out patreon.com/the SFA. As we head to the halfway point here of BearCave, well, I guess not really the halfway point. Actually, yeah, it is the halfway point. As we go to the Patreon game of the week, and this week, it is New Mexico at UNLV. Now, on paper, this seems like a big old mismatch as UNLV is a 10-point favorite. It's a 59.5 spread, and we're going to see, can big old Darren Archer get into the end zone 2 times here? Cryo, what was your pick? Whiteout versus all black for New Mexico. All right, we'll see if New Mexico has all black. I don't think that they do. They have this anthrax or anthracite. So this is as all black as you're gonna get. You're gonna go. We're gonna do that for them, and then you can go all white. That's fine. All right. All right, so kick or receive, Cryo, as we go ahead and continue to chug away. Yeah, well, Harm having a good day. That's all you can ask for when you're Tulsa, you know. It's the little things. As after this game, folks, stick around. We've got some insane matchups coming, all ranked versus ranked after this game. UNLV is ranked. I didn't put on the graphic this week. They are number 17 in the nation. As Darren Archer is in the Heisman conversation. I think he might be the favorite right now. Or no, the Rutgers guy is the favorite. As we're at Allegiant Stadium here. And, Cryo, I don't see... Oh, he had a kick. Okay. So we'll see if Darren Archer can pop off live on stream. Or if they're going to fumble the bag. It is a 10-point favorite. And... not much doing here in the first quarter, UNLV, as they're down 7. Oh boy, is this one of those days. As we get a touchdown there. 7-7 here in the first quarter. UNLV gets a touchdown. Now remember, New Mexico is missing their starting quarterback, Marquise Brown, as they get one there right before halftime. So feeling a little bit better about themselves. And now here comes UNLV. They are starting to kill them here, finally, as it was nerve-wracking there for at least a couple, as we get a punt return for a touchdown and a missed extra point, as this game is going to be a blowout. Now, I really only care if Darren Archer got 2+ touchdowns. I did bet on him, so We'll see. So we're just going to sim to the end of the game here. Nothing is going to change. 41-14. It's a UNLV cover. As Archer got one. He got another. He got an 85-yarder. Did I say rush touchdown or is it anytime touchdowns? Let's just check just to make sure. But Darren Archer, anytime touchdown. So that's 2 touchdowns today for Darren Archer. We'll take that, folks. A bang, bang. I'm only 1 leg away from hitting a monster parlay. As Dyron Satterfield having himself a good day. 388, 4 tutties. Rushing the ball. Not much doing for Archer. That's not going to help him in the Heisman races. That's why they were struggling. Man, look at all this negative. But through the air, man, Darren Archer 2 for 91, but not helping his case for the Heisman, surely. But I don't think UNLV cares too much about a Heisman at this moment when they are probably now one of the favorites. Them and Tulane as being the G5 auto bid if they can continue to win. No interceptions, couple of deflections, and that is going to do it here. As New Mexico here, Blake Johnson, the sophomore, being thrust 9 for 35 is not going to get it done. 25% completion percentage, and that is just disgustingly bad. As we head to the defensive side, and a lot of TFLs for a couple of these guys. As Roddy Domino, the SFA player, and Jordy Schmerda, SFA players here, combined for 10 tackles. Only 3 total. They got 3 total sacks. Couple of deflections here, mainly from Adam Foster, and a couple of fumbles. So Jordy Schmerda, the SFA player, getting a turnover there. But that will do it here from Allegiant, as it is a blowout here for UNLV as they keep the hopes alive. I'm not checking my DMs live on stream, Mr. Dogwater. You're going to have to wait. I do not check my phone notifications during stream. If it is a big deal, you can say it in chat, or one of the other mods will handle it. Oh, you found the perfect sticker. Oh. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Blah, blah, blah. Just look. Alright, I'll make you guys wait a second at the expense of Dogwater. He's making me do this. I'm doing this against my will. Alright, I might have to add that. We'll see. That might have been pretty good. Should have done financed or something like that, but that's a good sticker. As now we got the ranked versus ranked games, folks. These are bangers. These ones are going to impact the playoff race as we head towards the second half of the year. And we're going to start out in the Big Ten with one of the undefeated teams who is out of nowhere. Nobody had Northwestern on their bingo card this year. This is their best start in SFA history, especially or at least in the modern era. So we'll see what they can do here. Buddy, you guys are not up. I'm not taking your request. Northwestern doesn't have a coach, or an active coach at least. Michigan is a CPU team. So this is a 9.5 point favorite for the Wolverines. And the over-under here today for this game is a whopping 55.5. And we are checking in on Cheeto, the middle linebacker for the Wolverines. Will he have over or under 5.5 tackles? So Northwestern, we jump on board with the away team in these situations. And this is the first leg in the Purple People Eaters featured parlay set by yours truly today, betting on all the purple teams. We'll see. This is definitely going to be the toughest part of the leg. We had 15 of you guys putting in some coins into this game, thinking Northwestern can get it done on the road. Obviously, Michigan did not put up that great of a game day performance against Maryland, so I think a lot of people kind of think that they are a bit of pretenders. So we'll see if Northwestern can handle business today in the big house. And a quick touchdown there from Michigan. It was a return for a touchdown as they add 14, and this might be the reckoning for the Northwestern Wildcats. The underdog can't live forever, but wait, they get a quick score. They tie it up here in the first half. We got a game here, folks, as they are continuing to not go away. Here comes Northwestern as they go back down multiple scores. Oh no, it's starting to get away from them, but they need a big fourth quarter, and they don't get it there on fourth down. It really seems like the dream is over. Wait a second, it's only a 10-point game as we continue. And no, Michigan continues to be disrespectful, but it's still an 11-point game. What is going on? But the defense, they just can't get a stop. They just can't get a stop as it's back to 18. And they turn it over, and it's going to be a final there, folks. A Michigan cover. I think we've had every single game cover so far. App State covered, Missouri covered, Maryland covered, Tennessee covered, Tulsa covered, UNLV covered, and now Michigan covers. Man, if you were a cover merchant today, as Brody Byron, the SFA player, gets a 102 return, and the end is over for the Northwestern Dream. They only had about a 2.47% chance of going perfect, so we knew a loss was coming. I think TCS Network only gave him about an 18% chance of winning this game, as Isaac Harden had himself an alright day, but you can't turn the ball over. Kevin Stewart, who's had a great year, he also doesn't do much today. The offense was trying to battle, but the defense just couldn't help them out here today. Could not stop these Michigan men. An interception for SFA player Boogie Shamar. 3 deflections, no other turnovers. As now we check on Michigan. John Hodges, the freshman, he throws 5 touchdowns. Oh man, James Draws has 141 himself. 3 touchdowns for Greer and 2 for Swain. And as we head to the defense, Cheeto hits the over. He gets 5.5. Big tackle day for Cheeto, as he is only 1 sack and only 1 interception. Couple of deflections here, folks. As that is going to do it here from Ann Arbor. So all covers so far. I don't know if we've ever had this long in with not even a no cover. So will Buffalo be the first team to fold? You know, I can't imagine that Buffalo can get a cover here. So we will see. So the Purple People Eaters is dead. Have you submitted, Jackie, I know your Patreon, have you submitted a fight song to, Rick? If you want to get with him quick, and if he DMs it to me by the end of BearCave, then yes, you get a fight song. But I have to have it submitted. I don't know if I have one already for you. I can check after stream. But yeah, if you want to message Rick, I don't know how long it takes him. Tails and kick for Pinhead, as this is an 8-point favorite for the Buffalo Bulls. But this is a Pittsburgh team who just continues to defy the odds. They won a triple OT game at Notre Dame last week. And the over-under for this game is going to be 44.5. So quite a low over-under on this one. And then the BearCave line is Jaws Patterson rush yards. Will he get over or under 49.5? Remember, he had that 25-yard game winner. So we'll see if Buffalo can get it done. Yeah, if you can get with Rick, then I will be able to do it. All right, 6-1 versus 4-1, and this has big implications to not only our game day game, but the division. You know, winner will probably be the team to beat in the division, and then obviously Florida State is still in it as well. They're undefeated in conference. Here comes Pittsburgh, though, out onto the field. Heinz Field here. Billy Zoots taking the mound. They're taking center stage here at the coin toss. We got tails and kick here for Buffalo, trying to win their first ever division here in the ACC. They had a down year last year. First quarter, what are we gonna see here today, folks? And Pittsburgh starts out with a 3 points, but Buffalo takes the lead here. The under on track to hit the very low over-under. 7-6, 14-6, and this is not what you want to see. It's one of those games where field goals are going to lose it for you, so Pittsburgh's got to find a way in the end zone. They do. Can Buffalo respond? Pittsburgh takes the lead. They're up 4 points. Oh boy, folks, but here comes Buffalo. You know them, you hate them, as it's one more touchdown hits the over. Buffalo is up 3, and that's a touchdown here for Pittsburgh. 25-21 as the over does hit. 5 minutes left. We're going to go one play at a time, as this game is definitely close, as here comes Buffalo driving right down the field. Dale Shivers, he's in the Heisman conversation lately. Can they punch it in? They get stopped once. They get stopped twice. They get stopped again. And they get into the end zone on 4th down. It's Dale Shivers as, oh dear. No, I have to kick it. All right. Sorry, I have to kick it. I accidentally pressed the wrong button. I'm not going to touch it. The game is playing for me. I am not touching anything. All right, there is your return. My bad. I pressed the wrong button. As now, the only 2 plays in SFA history I played have been with Buffalo. Right when I pressed A to skip the cut screen, it went to the play art, unfortunately. So, we're still not jumping in yet. We have to wait till the 2-minute mark. 1st and 10, here we go. And we're going to jump in now. 3rd and 8 here for Pittsburgh. They are down 3. They've got to get in field goal range. They're in this kind of a position last week, trying to force overtime. Jaws Patterson, he delivers it to the outside, and that's going to be 4th down. They're going to have to go for it now. Fourth and 2. Game is definitely on the line here. Remember, they still have the timeouts, but pretty much over if they don't get it here. Jaws Patterson was the call, and wait, we get a flag! No! False start, what are we doing?
Still 4th down.
So a 4th and 2 becomes a 4th and 7. Just a tragic call here. So 4th and 7 now here for Pittsburgh. It's going to be a screen pass. They do get it to him, and he has a hole! He falls forward! No, they stuff him! Keontae Duckett couldn't quite get there! A brilliant play design, but the defense for Buffalo just stands on their head. Game is not over quite yet, folks, but it definitely feels like it. As Dale Shivers goes to the outside. He stevies a man. No, that's Omari Dunn. Coming back from injury, I believe. Or maybe he's not. No, that's Ricky Whitaker. So Dale Shivers out of the game. But they do maintain the timeout. He pushed him out of bounds. Young running back. So now Dale Shivers is back in. Interesting call having a backup there. But Dale Shivers up the gut as he gets a 1st down. They have to use that timeout now. So now desperation, one more 1st down, wins the game here for Buffalo. Shivers in the backfield, you know he's going to get the ball. They got to be able to force it loose. He goes to the outside. Stivy's a man, but he steps out. That saves Pitt a field or a timeout. I don't know what I'm saying. That was such a dumb play. 2nd and 8 now. The hope for Pitt rises. The crowd is back in it. Can they get a stop? Hand off to Dale, and they get a stop there. Allow him to fall forward. Deshaun Fellows on the tackle, but you've got to stop him here. 3rd and 3. Is Buffalo going to be dumb like Tulsa and throw the ball? 3rd and 3. They are going to throw the ball. Oh, boy. And they get the 1st down. I'm sick. They ice the game. Pitt getting aggressive, bringing a corner blitz. CeCe Schuster unfortunately gets the 1st down, and Buffalo is gonna survive. Ugh, just a massive ick, man. No one likes Buffalo. They will get the no cover, though. So if you picked, this is the first game that is not a cover today. The over does hit at least. I did bet on the over. So a big old womp womp. Yeah, tough loss here for Crew. He is definitely on an upward trajectory here in the last few weeks, or really this season. Really feels good for this team, but yeah, this game is going to be over. As Pittsburgh's still obviously not out of the division, but now you got to hope for a Buffalo loss somewhere else, and you can really only hope for or maybe Clemson or North Carolina to do it later in the season. Heads and receive for Mike. So Buffalo gets it done here, unfortunately. So we'll have to see if Jaws Patterson got the rush yards. We did get the over, so if you're an over bettor on this game, shout out to you. Oh dear. So I think one of my parlays hit though. So yeah, Jaws is great. Oh, sorry. I didn't know you could hear that. I'm trying to use my mute button more instead of taking a drink so you guys can hear it, because I know that's louder. This new microphone is good, but also really bad because it picks up so much audio, even though I have like gain turned all the way up. Like, it picks up so much. So I guess it's the good with the bad, right? So Buffalo somehow finds a way to win. This was a back and forth game all day long. Davidson getting into the end zone quite a bit. So Sean Hill, no turnovers. So has he fixed the turnover bug from earlier on in the year? As Shivers go for 141. No touchdowns for him on the ground, as he got one through the air. Spreading the ball around a lot. One of the best offensive lines in the country. If you are a young coach, this is how you get good in the SFA. Becoming elite in the trenches. It's not flashy, but you know, gets the job done. As we get some TFLs here, a couple of sacks, no interceptions today, and Zoots does get a deflection. Derek Hand gets a fumble. You're speaking foreign language. I don't know what LG Hub is. So Jaws Patterson, though, he had a great day. 303, 3 touchdowns. He's one of the safest passers in the country, and unintentionally, I think I had him as like a gunslinger type scrambler guy. But you know, he doesn't throw picks hardly at all. As he did go. Wait, what was the line? What was the line? This one is razor close. No, he hit the under. Jaws Patterson does not get to 49.5. That is a bad beat and a half, unfortunately. As Keontae Duckett was also a yard short from extending the drive. But I love the call from Coach Crew to give the young guy the rock, the young 5-star, the chance there on the mid-screen. And when it comes to defense, they just couldn't get a stop there at the end. And they didn't get any really extracurriculars today. And that's kind of how you win these games. You got to be able to turn the ball over or, you know, get some TFLs, get some sacks. But nothing doing there. So that's going to end the game here. Only a 3-point loss for Pittsburgh. But cover versus no cover counts the same in the record. But don't count out Pittsburgh yet. I'm going to still keep them ranked probably. That was a great performance against one of the better teams in the country, obviously. And I can already start to feel the butterflies bubbling up. Here we go. It is time for ECU to be on stream. Been a bit since we've been on stream. We've had a bit of definitely the easiest part of our schedule was the beginning, as now it is me taking on Coach Mike. I talk so much shit to Mike, and we'll see if I lose today. East Carolina, people love when we lose. We're regular season merchants. I have lost 3 regular season games in the last 4 years. So we'll see what happens here. Georgia Tech, did you want heads and kick, or what was it? I gotta scroll up. Heads and receive. So he wants the ball. Interesting strategy here. And before we get on into it, we're going basic jerseys, but it's a 6-point spread for ECU. The over-under for this game is set at 48.5, And we're checking in on Clayton Tune. This is a big one. He is the freshman quarterback. Can he get over 149.5 rushing yards and win? So in the games he's played, he's already hit that mark. And he's undefeated. So we'll see. Yeah, the Purple People Eaters lost on Northwestern. They just couldn't stop Michigan, unfortunately. They scored a lot of points, but the defense couldn't do anything. So heads in receive for Coach Mike here. As everybody's favorite pastime, watching an ECU home game and seeing if we blow it. Georgia Tech, we beat them last year on game day to open up season 13. It was, I believe, a 31-17 game, and I believe that was played in Atlanta. So with North Carolina going down here, ECU controls their own destiny in the division. So East Carolina, man, if it stays close, this is where I don't stay too center, you know. Normally I show you guys my rooting interests, but it gets bad when it's East Carolina, as I've just had a terrible time with ECU getting them over the last hump. So Georgia Tech starts with the ball. That's not what we wanted, folks. Is these triple option teams, if they get out to a quick start, that's how they kill you. ECU has to score first. So first quarter we go, and what's going to happen? Not much. Is this might be a low-scoring game. Georgia Tech gets off first. This is not a good start, but wait, there comes ECU. 7-7 after the first, and I really need the over to hit here. So okay, big play. That's good for us to see. This is one of the best secondaries in the country. If we're hitting big plays, we're okay. But, man, we're down again. No. Halftime rolls around. We're down by 14. This is not good. Oh, boy. ECU, please. ECU, please. What are we doing? We need some big plays. Interception by Trace. Are you And this is going to be the game. Wait a second, folks. It's only 11 points. Hold your horses, folks. Hold your horses. Never mind. We can't get a stop. We can't get a stop. I'm sick. What was that? We lost by 11? 11? Clayton Tune? A freshman. Good, he didn't get the over. Fuck you, Clayton. Get shit on. Little asshole. Juice Riggs, my baby, man. Mike fucking ruined him, and he fucking beats me with him? Of course, the team stacked with reward players is fucking dog shit. 13 weeks out of the year, but then they play their best game of their life against me. This is just, dude, Trace. Alright. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't Trace's fault. What is this? Every single loss we ever have, Vanilla Vic does nothing. Why are we giving the ball all these fucking 9 times? What is that? Your Heisman winner, your Heisman guy, your Heisman fucking finalist Walter. Oh my God. 9 carries against a triple option. Oh, I'm so salty. Oh, I'm so salty. Like, if you're gonna beat us, at least, like beat us. Not like this. Not like having my team just play like a bunch of complete, like, barnacles, dude. Like, what are we doing? Dude, that's, like, that's not even... Like, this is one of the best secondaries in the country. Why are you throwing the ball? It makes zero fucking sense. Like, get that we're down at one point, but, like, what? Oh, I am so salty. Well, there's our one loss. If I was going to take a loss this year in like in the regular season, like not fucking Mike, dude. The guy who just runs through every fucking server game and just fucking annoying, dude. I hate losing to teams like that, dude. I hate losing to teams like that. So fucking annoying. That team is so bad, too. Like, how do I lose to that? Unbelievable. Alright, let's move on. Get the ECU hate out of my system. You guys got it a little early this year. Normally that starts coming around week 14. But, nope, it comes in week 8 this year. That just means, though, I'll beat Tennessee, so, haha. As I will not go worse than 11-1. There's no shot. So, here we go. Last game is going to be Iowa State and TCU. So, this is a game that was the Big 12 championship last year. And both these teams are dominant and seem like they're going to be the Big 12 champs this year. So, this is a big-time game here. Iowa State, TCU. Coach Logan, if you are here, let me know. Heads or receive. I'm not sure if you're here. Triple option ball on your dome, 100 bits. That makes me want to cry, Cryo. Unbelievable. So annoying, dude. Georgia Tech's not a good team. Let's not get this twisted. Tails, quick capping, is that Logan? As this is the last BearCave game, so let me get a prediction for you guys. I've been slacking on my predictions this year. Alright, get those Bob and Us ready. Who wins? Is it going to be Iowa State? Remember, no spread or anything involved in the Bob and Us predictions. Or is it going to be TCU? Got 1 minute here, folks. Yeah, Georgia Tech's not a good team. I don't care what you say. Team is AIDS. Alright. Alright, Iowa State. Man, dude, that just throws off my whole vibe, man. Alright. So, final game here of BearCave is going to be TCU and Iowa State. It's TCU at a 4-point favorite. And the over-under for this game is 58.5. Now, we're going to check in on Kennard Sellers, the running back for Iowa State. He's been very good this year, virtually unstoppable. Will he go over or under 139.5? Oh, it doesn't make me feel any better because guess what, Cryo? At least your team gives him the ball. He got like 19 carries. I'm sorry. Maybe when you're losing to a team who only runs the ball, maybe you should give it to your best player more than 9 times. 9. Not 20, you know, not like a workhorse load, 40, like Kennard Sellers is about to get, or maybe 30. If we did that, we would be unstoppable. But no, we get 9! I'll tell you who only deserves 9 carries. absolute shitters. Not beast future Hall of Famers like Vanilla Vic. I need to take my OC behind a barn, man. He is fired after this game. That is unbelievable. Alright, we're into a new game here. It is the Big 12. This is a monster game here. Iowa State and TCU. Really, the loser of this game opens the door for somebody else in their division. For Iowa State, if they lose, you all of a sudden open the door back up to teams like Nebraska. For TCU, if they lose, all of a sudden you got teams like maybe a Kansas or an Oklahoma State that can push their way back in. Baylor already lost, so it seems like they are down for the year. So we'll see. Can TCU... We've seen a lot of undefeated teams go down today. Will this be another one? Alright, so how will this game go today? TCU starts out with a 3-point lead. Iowa State gets the rock back, gets a touchdown here in the first quarter, and they get another one, but they have to sell for a field goal. They get another touchdown as soon as I talk, but TCU battling back. Remember, this is a team that can score $1 billion in a couple of seconds, but TCU, look at them go. Oh my, Iowa State. Remember, this is a team whose only loss is to Alabama on the road, and all of a sudden you're in the fourth quarter down by 2 scores for TCU. They do get a fumble recovery, so TCU's not out of it. They get back within a possession. We've got a big ball game, folks. This is not a team that takes an L lightly. TCU does not lose many games in the Mango era, so can they battle back here? We're going to go one play at a time. 4th and goal. They can't get in there, and they do on 4th down. It is Francis, the tight end. So it is a tie ball game, a comeback of epic proportions here for TCU. Man, I wish another purple team could show some fight and you know, give it to their best players, right? So, and now TCU's going to get the ball back, so a chance to win it here. Remember, we'll jump in at the 2-minute mark, and that's where we are. Here comes TCU, a chance to make an epic comeback and finish off Iowa State at home, the team that they beat in the Big 12 championship last year, but Charisma Mukaida, the corner, comes in, makes the play. Big time play there from the Kansas transfer, as Steven Sutton has 165, 2 touchdowns today. $38-38, a monster game. The over is already hit. JT Redwine, your reigning SFA Player of the Year, dumps it off. Wide open man, the flat. That's Peter Woods. Peter Woods, the best receiver on this team. Or no, Michael Francis. Could have sworn he was, Peter Woods was number... Oh no, he's number 80, not number 10. So, the tight end getting wide open. I was confused why Peter Woods would get... so wide open. There's Woods as he drops the rock. So TCU trying to get into field goal range. Iowa State's got to come up with something big. Remember, they have multiple SFA players at corner, and they have Zadie Likes in the backfield, or in the secondary rather. Lots of SFA players on both sides. Only a 4-man rush for JT. Open man, and that is Fleming, who's going to get 14 as they're inside the 30 now. Iowa State starting to take timeouts as they want the ball back. Richie Boots, his 6th tackle of the day. TCU as JT floats that. Oh, I thought it was going to be intercepted. It's incomplete. Trying to find Peter Woods, but that was dangerous from Redwine. Throwing late to the boundary is never a good idea. So 2nd and 10 now here for TCU. Trips left on the short side. JT, he has time, floats that, and that looked awkward off the shoulder, but Brian Hill brings it in for 8. We got a 3rd and 2. This is where Iowa State has to make a play. Try to get a stop, conserve some time. They're back in shotgun, 2 tight ends. That's Francis and Fleming. They're going to run quick option. They don't pick JT, and he picks it up. Oh, what a mistake. You gotta take the pitch, man. As Mango pops in. Hello, Mango. So 1st and 10 now, minute left. They're going to start running the clock as that's going to be a 1st down. Now if you're Iowa, you got to consider letting them score. They could just run this down to 0 and kick a field goal. So you pretty much got to let them score a touchdown and see what you can do in 58 seconds. JT, man in motion. They're just going to hand it off to Sutton again, and they stop him. Zadie likes, so now you got to burn that last timeout. I'm not sure what the thought process is here from Coach Logan. So really, you have to let them score here or the game's over. And Sutton gets it. This time they let them score as TCU takes a 7-point lead. So that leaves 51 seconds here for the Cyclones to try and come back. We saw a comeback earlier in the Tulsa the Tulsa Texas State game, but man, this is a different animal. Iowa State was running away with this game. It was like 38-10 or something weird, or 38-17. So Iowa State now, they have the rock. Patrick Hardy gets about 22. But just a massive 4th quarter here. And like I said earlier, TCU can score a million in what seems like 5 seconds. As here comes Jamar Siggins and company. Remember, watch out for the man in the slot. Kevin Kramer, the tight end. He is elite. Kennard Sellers in the backfield as well. This is a big play team. As they dump that off to Sellers, and he only gets a couple. They're going to have to start hurrying up to the line as they don't have any timeouts. So you got to get a touchdown here, down to 34 as you are in fringe jam range already. Siggins, he is going to float that one. He hits his man, but it's dropped. Oh, Siggins is beside himself. He thought he had a nice throw there. So 3rd and 7 now. You got to imagine they got to get at least a 1st down to get into yam range. Watch out for Kramer. Foot's on the ground, or hands on the ground. They roll right. That's Kennard Sellers. Short of the line. Now you got to hurry up. You got 20 seconds. You have to get this 1st down. Game on the line right here for Iowa State. They're out empty. 13 seconds left. Siggins dumps that one off, and he's short. Melvin Oliver, the big frame, the big old brute, can't get the toes in, and that's going to do it. Now, to avoid any funny business, we're going to watch him nail it out here, as always. Just an epic collapse there for Iowa State. A generational collapse, if you would say that. Just a tough way to lose a game, especially on the road in conference over a team you lost the Big 12 championship to last season, lost a playoff berth, and this very well could be another game that plays a critical factor in how the Big 12 shapes up this year. So TCU remains perfect, an epic comeback for Coach Mango, but a tough loss here for Iowa State. Some brutal losses today for you guys, folks. Oh, all the bad teams won, man. This is terrible. Buffalo wins. Georgia Tech wins. TCU wins. Can we have nothing nice? Tennessee even won. This is ridiculous. It's lucky ECU will be going into a bye, and things are going to change, man. That team is going to get an ass whooping, to say the least. So as always, guys, we're gonna check the the stats here, and then we'll go through Week 9 games, the schedule for Week 9, and then we still have one more game remaining for you, folks. It's going to be game day. It's Notre Dame going on the road to face Florida State. So let's see how this one ended, as I kid you not, 35 straight points to end the game here. Just an epic collapse. It was 38-10, and they scored 35 unanswered. That is just ridiculous. Unbelievable comeback here. Kennard Sellers even threw the ball once, but 368 here. And it's Sellers. No, he didn't get the over. I'm sick. My parlay goes down as well. I want to die. This is... Ooh, I'm so salty. TFLs, you got Chris Hunter. No sacks on JT Redwine today. Clean jersey for him. They didn't turn the ball over. And could only muster 2 deflections. He did get 1 forced fumble. James Williams, he did get the recovery, but definitely a tough way to go out as JT Redwine does his thing. You know, not the best game by JT Redwine standards, of course, but Steven Sutton, he picked up the slack. 180, 3 tutties, and then obviously all their guys kind of did their thing. Anthony Cross has been a bit of a disappointment for sure, but James Roach off the edge gets 10 tackles for TFLs, and no sacks here either, so both quarterbacks staying upright, no interceptions, and 2 tips, both by SFA players. And Jamal Moore forced 2 fumbles, and he recovered them both, and a block, so that might have contributed to the 35 straight points for TCU. So big day here for TCU. They stay perfect, as we've seen a lot of teams who are undefeated lose this week. I'd like to say at least 3 or 4. Yeah, 4, maybe half. Oh, man, I gotta look, but not a great day for the undefeated teams. So let me get my player of the week graphic here. Oh, man. Alright, so as always, guys, before we head out here on BearCave, we're going to check week 9 here in the SFA. As actually, before I do that, I want to make sure we only have 1 game remaining, and we do. So this is our game day, and that will do it for week 8. So for week 9, we'll take a look here. This is the last week, or we have 2 more weeks where we can't repeat a game day team. Some interesting ones. Florida State and Georgia Tech could be interesting now that Georgia Tech controls their own destiny in the ACC. Stanford, Utah, both kind of disappointing teams this year. Texas A&M, Oklahoma, as always, going to be a fun one. That game came down to last second last year. UTSA on a 3-game win streak takes on North Texas. Michigan, Minnesota is always fun. Wyoming having a good year. TCU. So we continue to look here, as this season is now we're in the slog of the season where teams gotta avoid massive upsets and gotta continue trucking along. Some interesting matchups here. Iowa State trying to battle back against now a reeling Missouri. And that will do it for the games. All right, folks. So, as always, VODs will be available a little later on tonight. Highlights will be available tomorrow. But, as always, I will be back here in about 5 to 10 minutes for the game day game of the week, which will be Notre Dame at Florida State, Coach Jackie Moon. So, that will do it for you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching and for supporting with likes, follows, anything, really, Patreon. Bits and subscriptions and all that. It means a lot. Check out Home Field as always to watch more TC suffering, which is really what the SFA is all about. And yeah, see you in a few minutes. Peace.